Our next presentation will be by two speakers. It will be kind of a collaborative presentation, and because it's two speakers, actually the two presentations together should total about 30 minutes. Let me introduce both speakers. Hasan Aydin is a doctoral student in curriculum teaching and learning at the University of Nevada and Reno, specializing in multicultural education, and he expects to complete his Ph.D. degree later this year. And one of the interesting things in his biography is that he actually has experience teaching English and studying in Mongolia, which is one of the places I'd like to go and haven't been able to get to yet. And the second speaker will be Susan Chandler, who has her Ph.D. from the University of California at Berkeley, and she's an associate professor in the School of Social Work at the University of Nevada. And she is an authority in the areas of racial and class dimensions within social services and the life experience of low-wage workers. Their presentation is Building a Culture of Dialogue, a Qualitative Field Study of the Gülen-Inspired Schools in Abuja, Nigeria. And so,
thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. After British and Italian accent, right now you listen to the Kurdish accent, which is hardly understanding. I'm very honored to be here today to present a part of my projects, our projects, and in this such a wonderful conference, and with well-known scholars like Martin Marty, Thomas Michel, Scott Alexander. So I consider myself like a little bird, like try to learn how to eat. So I'm just newly in my field. I'm trying to in academia field. As you see, like a bodily shape, I'm not little, but I consider myself as a little in academia. So last week, I attended one of the conference in multicultural education field, which is one of the biggest conference in Las Vegas. So I present another with other two professors and about Gülen movement and Gülen-Inspired schools in Nigeria, a part of different subjects. So I recognize that there are a lot of people, they have nothing knowledge about Gülen movement and Gülen-Inspired schools. So mostly in multicultural education field, there are African Americans, Europeans, Middle East, and everywhere. So this is such a big conferences, they give, each present a little room, like a 20, 30 seats, and then you go in there and present your paper. So in my session, there are a lot of people, so they were interesting about Gülen-Inspired School and Gülen movement, which is the different philosophy, different, content they would like to learn, specifically teachers. So the room was full, and then, and I had problems with there's no project, no computers. So I asked the people, the conference organizer, what is I need the PowerPoint. I am going to use the PowerPoint. I need computers and project. They said, well, there's a PowerPoint, or you can borrow from hotel organizer. They $300 for 20 minutes. So. And after my presentation done, and the conference, they come ask me, so they say, well, there are a lot of people, they will be interested in your conference, so could you, and present your paper again tomorrow, because some people interesting. I say, well, if you should pay my hotel, and then I will present tomorrow. They say, okay, we will pay you, no problem. So I present the next day, and they bring the money to give me. I say, please, take this money and buy the project for next year, and then you can provide another presenters to present their paper. So I deeply appreciate the Naira Foundation and specifically Hakan Berberoğlu to organize such a wonderful technology, hospitality. Yeah, I should mention that because in the last panelist, so thank you so much, such organized, wonderful, and specifically people from different backgrounds and sharing, discussing about Gülen movement and Gülen-Inspired schools around the world. Because there are actually a lot of people, they don't know Gülen movement, and specifically here people, they know, and then specifically scholars, they have been 20 years in their field. So I'm just starting new, so I hope I will do my best. So if we don't understand, please, you are welcome to stop me and ask questions, okay? So Nigeria, why Nigeria? So one day, I was in my room in a different field, and one of the professor who is really anti-religious, and he stopped my door and knocked, showed me one of the business cards. He said, do you know Aslan Doğan and Yüksel Yetkin? I said, no. Oh, you are Turkish, you shoot everybody in the United States. I said, well, you are American, do you know everybody in the world? He said, these two guys explain one of the schools who is, inspired by Gülen. I said, who is this? Well, Gülen, I don't know, Gülen. And I said, well, I have no idea. And 2 days later, he come up, he said, show me, oh, Gülen, okay, I know this guy. So he said, I would like to learn about Gülen's and his philosophy, his methodology, how is the school of success around the world. I said, well, I will give the books. I give a couple of books, and he came asking, 1,000 of questions. And later on, and I changed, my department, so I work with him, and he's atheist, but he's anti-religious, but it's very fun around him, and I like him a lot. So, and with another, Susan Chandler and another faculties, we decided to conduct research in Nigeria. As you know, Nigeria always headlines in the New York Times and everywhere as a very important country in the Central Africa. So we decided that to investigate Nigerian Turkish colleges, which is promoting openness and dialogue in society deeply divided by religions and ethnic identities, geographical lines, and socioeconomic studies in the deeply divided country. As being like this is a qualitative study, you will learn a lot of the quotes from the participants. So this is one of my quotes. These are wonderful quotes and from the students. Before the quote, then I'm going to read the quotes, but before that, Nigeria have 3 different kind of education system. Like a Muslim type education system, which is teach basic Muslim education, Quranic basic, and another Western type education, which is the missionary education system, and the other one is the indigenous, which is big tribals in Nigeria. So they have their own education system. So Muslim students cannot go Christian schools. Christian students cannot go Muslim schools. The big, like a Hausa, Yoruba, big tribal, they have own education. So this is, and I asked, why Nigerian Turkish colleges? Why did you choose the Nigerian colleges? What he says, something fascinating about this school, located in North, is highly populated Muslim area. The Christians are not have one of the school, but still they do not feel in any way opposite, in any way intimidated and discriminated. Such a wonderful quote. He said something fascinating because Christian students with Muslim students, with another students. So he is really happy to being in a diversity and multiple religion schools. And so he said, we all feel like one here. People say the Turkish school isn't a Muslim school. We say no. There are no differences. It's actually mixed school. It's in a school where you can relate to them no matter where you are, no matter you come from. So the students are happy. Students are enjoying with their colleagues, their friends in the school. So there is no matter wherever you come from, no matter you are Christian, you are Muslim, and you are other tribal background. So Nigerian Turkish colleges, and I would like to give a brief, basic information about Nigerian Turkish colleges. Nigerian Turkish colleges is run under by Surat Educational Institutions, and which started in 1998 with three students, 11 teachers. So there are 17 colleges and 17 colleges in different 5 states, and also they have running 2 types of educations, which I mostly appreciated as a multicultural perspective. They're running single-sex education, which is boys' schools with boarding, and girls' schools with girls' boarding, and also co-education with daily basis. So they're running 2 types of education. So it's a matter of choice of students. The students, they live in dormitory, which is, makes a lot of sense to me because, as Nigeria has been divided by religious and ethnic tribal clashes, and so the students live in a dormitory and they eat together, they receive the same education, and the good things for Nigerian Turkish international colleges, giving education by boardings. Yeah, a little information about Nigeria. Nigeria is a wonderful and beautiful country, really. When you land at the airport, it's smelling like a multicultural. You hear different dialects from the people at the airport. The people from Hausa tribe, people from the Igbo tribe. So and people speak English. So it's is very wonderful and beautiful, multicultural. Okay. So, and Nigeria is colonized by the late 19th century, and as African most populous country, is receiving 250 different ethnicities. Is extraordinary wealth, and one of the fifth of U.S. oil comes from Nigeria. Nigeria is the lowest literacy rate, 68%, which is the lowest in the sub-Sahara African continent, and multiple religion violences, Christian, Muslim, and indigenous. Our participants were like 22 participants and 4 stakeholders and parents, students, teachers, and administrators. In parents, we also interviewed like state officials, like former Minister of Education and some governors, and we just would like to hear their sense of experience about Nigerian Turkish colleges and to different perspectives to collaborate and with the qualitative perspective. Our data collection is based in focus group, students and teacher focus group interviews, and for teacher parents we did an one-by-one interview, and other one we did class observation and outside conversation, artifacts and field notes. So we have a lot of data for the and then to make our research more stronger. So our research question was how is that in the nation deeply divided along religious, ethnic, and class lines, Christian, Muslim, and other Nigerian Turkish students live, study side by side, and process build a culture of dialogue and respect. So this is a quote, and the general director, the most humble, the guy I have ever been seen in my life. So, and he's here today. So please join me and applaud how he did a wonderful job in Nigeria. So he said, I asked how did you come up with Nigeria and open the schools? And he said, we struggled when we came opening the school the first time. Sometimes we could not pay our teacher salary and did not have any single penny to buy a bread. I had very old shoes for a long time. So comparing myself and to him, I have summer shoes, sports shoes, and different kind of shoes. So this is a kind of altruistic person. Went to, inspired by Gülen philosophy and his books, and either went to the Nigeria, which is divided by a lot of clashes and political corruptions. So he went to, then open the school and give them, educate Nigerian kids. How appreciation, how wonderful guy, and so he said, I really agree with Gülen. If we want to stop all crises in the world, all the problems, it's only by education. Which is also Gülen emphasized. You can read Muhammad Chetin books and other scholars. He says, okay, there are all problems comes ignorant. If you eliminate ignorance, only through by education. So he believes education is the most important world. He also emphasized that how much money we spend on the weapons and guns and nuclear bombs and around the world. If you spend all the money in education, so what will gonna be changed? So I believe his perspective. I appreciate his idea. Another vice president, vice director of Nigerian Turkish College, Nigerian nation, she said, sharing love. She just hunger with love, hunger with peace, hunger with dialogue. So she said, sharing with love with others, to be poor, to be rich, seeing others as a one. In what Nigerian education needs, I think we need Gülen philosophy. So she's a kind of hunger to the being and oneness. And another quote, she said, there are a lot of people, I don't want, whatever you are white, whatever you are color, whatever you are Hausa, Yoruba and Igbo tribes, we want to be ones. So all clashes in Nigeria, tribal clashes and all problems, she was really happy, then Gülen philosopher works in Nigeria. I'm just, So, and right now, like Nigerian Turkish colleges, and I give some, basic information at the gone, which started 3 students, 11 teachers. Right now, they have 600 students and 135 teachers and 17 campuses, and they opened new university in 2009, and very big university we visited and with scholars, and they also opened the hospitals, which helped Nigeria. Nigerian have been suffering with disease and AIDS and all the other problems, and they opened also hospitals and university and as colleges. So not only by education, also by healthcare. Did I miss something? Okay. So one parent, the Nigerian Turkey, he reported that the senator, when he moved to another state, to the Abuja. Okay. Thank you. When he moved another state to Abuja, the capital state, he was trying to send his kids to the Nigerian Turkish college, one of the schools, but there are a lot of international colleges in Abuja, American, Indian, British colleges. And he said, you know what, I'm gonna decide, to stop the 5 people in the street, and whatever they say, I will send my kids to the school. So he stopped 5 people in the street, so 4 of them, they said, Nigerian Turkish colleges. And one of them said, I don't know. So then he sent his kids to Nigerian Turkish colleges. And scholarships, and Nigerians, they having tuition-based, status, so they're having an entrance exam to receive selecting kids from the, last year they have 7,000 students, apply one school, they only select 36 students. So also they have mathematics competitions in 36 states, and they having each for states, they have first 3 students with scholarships. So there are kind of a lot of scholarships, and from Nigerian Turkish colleges, 160 from the school administration, 300 students from the state governors supporting for the poor and successful students in the colleges, and 20 students, one of the guy we met in Turkish businessman who is running the cement factory, so and he's supporting 20 students, and also 100 students of the Shell company, Nigeria Oil, so there are a lot of oil companies, foreign companies running countries. So Shell company offer the administrators to support 100 students to have different, curriculum, different class for students who wants to be an engineers, an oil engineer. So they support 100 students for, to give the school administrators to support their curriculum to students who wants to be an engineer, and they have a job until they finish their. The another parents, and then we interviewed, she said, they teaching love, and they teaching our students peace, and they are developing our culture. So in teacher perspective, administrative perspectives, and parents' perspectives, they need love each other, and peace each other, and dialogue each other. That's why Nigerian Turkish colleges promoting peace and love and dialogues. The another quotes, people like this school because it is natural. It is Hausa, it's not Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, Northern, Southern, or Muslim or Christians. We are all here to build one Nigeria. So, also Nigerian views, the leader views, Nigerian, the leaders, they don't consider Nigerian Turkish colleges as being foreigners. So there are, he's a prime minister, he said there are a lot of international schools in the country, but we don't regard the Turkish schools as foreigners, international. This Turkish school teach our curriculum and our culture and in our way. The Turkish people worked for our country, and we shall stand by them. So Nigerian, the government people and the parents, students, administrators, They follow the school follow Nigerian national curriculum. They have an extra curriculum. Is another project, like a moral teaching students moral values, character education, something like that. But government are, the governors are people and state officials are happy. Parents are happy. Students are smiling when you have a focus group interview. Are you happy here? Everybody say, yay, we are happy. We like our schools, and which is. There are a lot of discussion it need to be done, but I end up with my session. I will invite my colleague to go over the power presentation. But to being here today, there are a lot of people asking, I want to learn about Gülen movement, Gülen-Inspired schools. How's this? So this is the hismetmovement.blogspot.com. It's a new, there are a lot of websites about Gülen movement, but this is the new website, and if you want interest, please visit the website. It's information about Gülen movement, Gülen-Inspired school, which has not been in the books and articles. So different perspectives, if you would like interesting, so please go visit this website. So I will turn the podium to my co-author. Thank you so much.
And we are happy to. So thank you, Mr. Aydin.